Let's venture into the Emerald
Another
Grove.
step forward.
Homesick. He never let it show, but he was homesick too.
And you was ready to let them have us. Don't blame me for your mistakes. There are children here, you fool! We was running for our lives. You led them straight to us, and you let them take the druid too? Unbelievable!
One fight just ended, and now you're picking another?
Tell that to the dead at the gate.
Shut it, Horns! I'd be lying dead next to the goblins if you'd stalled any longer.
My duty is to this camp.
Oh, God forbid you risk your precious tail. But I shouldn't be surprised. Foul-bloods ain't known for courage.
You see the tiefling's jaw clench. He's about to erupt.
It's important to resolve this conflict without violence. If there is violence, Aradin will likely leave Emerald Grove, and because of that, you will lose a lot of context in what happens outside of Emerald Grove. So we will try and resolve this peacefully through the persuasion option.
You're right. There's too much at stake.
Worried about your precious hides, the both of you.
Enough! Squabbling is pointless. The goblins have found us.
At least we agree on that.
More goblin vermin could be on their way.
I'm more worried about this parasite than a few goblins. We need a healer.
Yeah, Aradin is a, he's a piece of work. He really is.
Forgive that display. Aradin's a blowhard, but that's no cause for me to join him. Thank you for your help out there. I'm Zevlor.
I'm Titus.
Well met. I should warn you, visitors are no longer welcome in this grove. Whatever your business, I'd see to it quickly. The druids are forcing everyone out. This attack will only strengthen their resolve.
Why are they forcing you out?
There have been several attacks by different monsters. The druids blame us outsiders for drawing them here. Nobody's welcome anymore. They've started a ritual to cut the grove off from the world outside. We can't stay, but we'll be slaughtered if we leave. We're no fighters.
What brought you here?
We're refugees from Elturel. We took shelter here after gnolls attacked us on the road. We were bound for Baldur's Gate, and it was too late to turn back. Elturel had no place for tieflings after the Descent.
The Descent, an infernal conspiracy that had seen the entire city of Elturel briefly dragged to the Hells.
Is there a place for tieflings anywhere?
A fair point. We can only hope the citizens of Baldur's Gate are more open-minded. But we can't get there with those beasts blocking our path.
This ritual, is there no way to convince the druids to stop it?
I've tried. Korga, their new first druid, won't even see me. You, though? I know it's not your business, but she owes you for saving this place. Perhaps you could persuade her. For more time to prepare, if nothing else.
I'll see what I can do.
Really? We're messengers now.
We'd owe you a great debt. If we're forced to leave now, we won't make it to the city. You'll find the druids at the heart of the grove. Please, make them see sense before more lives are lost.
Right now, I'll take everything I can get. Okay, so we have arrived at the Emerald Grove. This is a good place to stock up on items that you can afford, potions,
Best be on my way.
especially healing potions. This fella here has some nice equipment, so does Dammon, who's farther on.
These people.
That doesn't matter.
Of course it does. You would choose strangers over us.
That's not what I said.
Can we stop shouting? No?
In addition to Dammon, there's also a older lady who sells potions. She seems to be a alchemist of sorts. But before we get into visiting Arron, first off, we will stop and talk to Leah, Cal, and Roland. They are an interesting family, to say the least. Leah is really cool. She's very fiery, very passionate. Roland, he at first appears to be, well, a Brit, basically, but his interest is solely in providing for his family. That's really all he cares about. You won't discover that until you get past his hubris,
I
but
won't leave them behind.
You're going to get us
he
killed.
is actually very cool.
That's the way.
Hells! We can't just leave. They're kin.
I'll not gamble our lives, our futures, on people who are as good as dead. We must leave for Baldur's Gate at once.
Can we all just take a moment, please?
What's the point in blazing spells if we don't bloody use them? We should stay. These people aren't fighters. We can help.
Or yell louder. That's fine too.
Cal is the peacekeeper between Leah and Roland, who are often at odds. And he always wants to, keep things civil between them. I'm gonna go with 3. You should all stay. A single blade, it could make a difference. Hopefully I'll get a decent roll.
Thank you. It's the right thing to do, and you know it.
She's right, Roland. We're better than this.
Zergan. Fine, I'll stay too. Lest you both end up with your throat slit by goblin blade.
Thank you, Roland.
So we'll let them continue on.
Don't be grumpy, Roland. We'll get to the city soon.
I am not grumpy.
Scowl on your face would frighten a troll.
You're an idiot.
Good work,
Yeah,
kids.
they bicker a lot, but they're a lovely family. As far as Mr. Arron goes, we will speak to him and inspect some items that he has in his inventory, after which I will steal those items.
This is no fortress.
Refugees, adventurers, no one in years, and suddenly we're overwhelmed. Well met. And thank you for beating back those goblins. Most brave of you. Is there anything you need? Act fast if you do. The ritual will be complete before too long.
Are you really locking down the grove?
I know it's drastic, but more monsters seem to terrorize this region every day.
What about the people here?
We druids will be safe. As for those that took refuge here, well, may Sylvanas guard them as they continue their travels.
You said the region's overrun by monsters. They won't survive by themselves.
As I said, it's a drastic measure. But the survival of the Grove is paramount. There just aren't enough supplies to support everyone.
I'm looking for a healer. Would you know of one?
I pray no goblin arrow has grazed you. Nettie could put you to rights. She should be with the others in the inner chambers, but I doubt she'll be taking on new patients. The Grove will be locked down soon.
Happy news. What are you selling?
Just some bits and bobs I no longer need.
That was sarcasm, by the way. Happy news. So we have Potion of Animal Speaking, 5 potions of healing, Arrow of Darkness, Arrow of Fire, Ice. We're going to get all of these special arrows. Going to steal some spells as well, and get what special items we can, which would include Dragon's Grasp. Dragon's Grasp is a Handax, and it deals 5 to 13 damage, slashing of course, plus an additional conditional 1 plus d4 slashing. That comes courtesy of Burned Alive. Deals an additional 1 to 4 slashing damage to burning targets. So if you set someone on fire, attack them with this, it will deal additional damage. Proficiency unlocks Lacerate. Description: somehow this axe perpetually feels warm to the touch. Imagine that. Next up is Rain Dancer. Rain Dancer is a very useful quarterstaff. It deals 4 to 11 bludgeoning damage. It has the level 1 transmutation spell of creating water, which we have seen the benefit of creating water already when we took on the goblins and they electrified that water. It's also useful for putting out fire, which comes into play when we go to Joaquin's Rest, a village that's, well, it's not really a village, it's more like this little settlement, I guess you could call it, and it's been torched. So getting across fire-lit terrain, water really helps with that. The description for Rain Dancer: a pale staff inlaid with droplet-shaped topaz, it is cool to the touch. Next up, we have a really interesting longbow. And that longbow is Spellthief. Okay, Spellthief deals 4 to 11 damage. Piercing, of course. Comes with Arcane Behemoths. Once per short rest, you regain a level 1 spell slot when you land a critical hit with the Spellthief. Proficiency unlocks Brace and Hamstring Shot. The description: a shiver of magic flows from this bow into your hand like a promise. Once we've obtained this, we'll give it to Shadowheart for now. Since Gale has no proficiencies with any type of bow, she would be the logical option, at least for now. And then we have some armor. Hedge Wanderer armor. Really look forward to when Larian gets all these figured out. These inset pictures. Some work really well, others not so much, as you see here. Hedge Wonder armor has an AC of 13, provides balance, gain a +1 bonus to dexterity saving throws and checks, comes with nature +1. The description: the simple cured goat hide was enchanted by a traveling druid. A goat herd once helped her negotiate a strange maze of hedges, so she blessed all his goats in thanks. Also, get an AC bonus from dexterity limited to +2. We'll probably give that to Shadowheart as well. Hide armor, which is very similar to Hedge. Padded armor +1 is slight armor. I'll be distilling that, giving it to Titus. Ringmail armor is nice. It is heavy armor. I will be giving that to Lae'zel. We will keep Shadowheart enrobed in medium armor until we can respec her. Turn her into a Tempest cleric, and which time she should get access to heavy armor. Then we have the Ring of Flinging. It grants a throwing boost where it gains a +1d4 bonus to throw damage, which is alright. Probably won't use it for very long, but we will get it now. And really want these, the Gloves of Missile Snaring. These are really nice. You can intercept missiles from ranged weapon attacks, reducing their damage by 1d10 plus your dexterity modifier. Which means if you have a character whose dexterity is higher, then they will be more apt to intercept arrows. Description: these gloves seem to melt to your skin. Supple, snug, and dexterous as one could hope for. Those are a must-have for this juncture of the game. Then of course we have dies. You see that the icons are changed from the vanilla version. They're a little more distinctive. That comes courtesy of a mod, of course. We'll be stealing all kinds of things. Camp supplies, beef moss, you name it. We'll be thieving it, including the leather helmet. And I would provide a tutorial on stealing, but there are really good tutorials out there on YouTube, probably better than what I could provide. And since this is so early on, stealing will probably involve a lot of save scumming. So yeah, I will just steal everything and then we will move on.
Sylvanas, guide your path.
Okay, items obtained.
On my way.
Gold stolen.
My faith will guide me.
Let's get going.
This is no fortress and we're no warriors.
Time to press ahead.
Children! Look who's here. Swing and swing.
Go on. Give me a best shot. Not bad. Again.
I can't do it. I'm not like you.
Umi, I don't need you to be like me. You just have to buy enough time to run. Come on. I believe in you. You can do this.
It's good advice, kid. You do want to listen.
You're on the right path, Umi. Go on now. Practice what you've learned. Well met. The blade of frontiers at your...
The man's smile bends downward, and his thoughts become yours. You are the blade of frontiers racing through the wastes of Avernus. Just Just ahead, a diabolical figure, red skin, single curled horn, blazes with flame, bloodied great axe held high.
Hell's great fires. You were on the ship.
Who was that woman? The one in your thoughts.
You saw her then. Advocatus Diaboli.
Advocatus Diaboli, a devil's advocate, a champion in the blood war between diabolical forces and demons.
Her name is Karlach, an archdevil soldier I swore on my good eye to kill. I tracked her through the hells to the Mindflayer ship, but the damned Illithids infected me before I could end her. She's out there now, preying on the innocent. I don't kill her, she'll leave behind nothing but a trail of corpses.
Let's join forces. I'll help you cast this devil back into the hells.
A tadpole feasts on our skulls, and you're signing on to chase devils.
Trust me, Gith. I know the stories. Doomed to shed our skin and become Illithid. And they say there's no coming back. But I've seen your people in battle. I reckon you are no mere warrior, but a god's damned army. If anyone can overcome this tadpole, it's you. I'd be a fool to let you turn your back. Pledge me your talents, and I'll pledge you mine. I'll presume that's Githyanki for yes. Now let's move.
Indeed.
Parry. And again. Any questions?
So we are now up to 6 members. We'll level up Wyll. Warlock level 2. Health increase. Class features. Warlock spell slot gain. And 2 passives. We'll go with Hellish Rebuke. That's a really good spell. Here we'll go with Eldritch Blast. Or Agonizing Blast. That means when we cast Eldritch Blast, he can add his Charisma modifier to the damage it deals, which should be quite high. Armor of Shadows be useful early on, but we'll give him some pretty decent armor. Beast Speech, really don't need that. Fiendish Vigor is pretty cool. In addition to Agonizing Blast, we're going to go with Repelling Blast as well. When he hits a creature with Eldritch Blast, it can push the creature up to 4.5 meters away. Yeah, I don't believe we're going to replace either of these spells. Armor of Vegas, very useful. Gain 5 temporary hit points and deal 5 cold damage to any creature that hits him with a melee attack. Though Witch Bolt and Command are quite lovely too. Alright, now that we have Wyll in the party,
Can't slow down.
who's about as exciting as Stale Bread, but he's a really cool companion to have. He can be rather frustrating in battle because he tends to miss a lot. And while we roam around, if we can pick up something, we will.
We're exposed now.
Why, hello there, sweetness.
Auntie Ethel.
If it isn't the talk of the camp. Thank goodness you came along when you... Oh. There isn't a bit of colour in those cheeks, Petal. Are you hurt? Cold? Feverish? Auntie Ethel will sort you out. I've lotions and potions galore.
What are you? An alchemist? Well, we'll let it fuss over us a little bit.
Aha! You take a sup at that and you'll feel right as rain, sweetie.
Expertly made. Nicely done healing potion.
Oh, stop with the sweet talk. Here, take the end of the bat, just in case. I'm sorry to go on about it, but are you all right? You're looking awful peaky.
Lady, I don't know you from Adam. So, yeah, I'm not going to try to explain anything. I'm fine, thank you, Ethel. Just a little bone weary after a difficult day.
Oh, stop! Even on a good day, half the camp acts like a bunch of screaming brats. I'm tempted to smack them all on the backside and tell them to kiss and make up. Not that they'd listen to little old me. Anyway, do you need anything? I have a few odds and ends for sale.
What harm? Show me your wares.
Hey, bother.
So, yeah, we want this. We can't really steal from her, so we'll just buy what we can. Coilon's Grace. It's a rather interesting quarterstaff. Deals 4 to 11 bludgeoning damage. Comes with natural pugilist. You gain a +1 bonus to unarmed attack rolls and damage, meaning if you put this on a monk, it would be very beneficial. Right now we don't have one, of course. Also comes with unhampered resistance. While the wielder is not wearing armor, they receive a +2 bonus to saving throws. Again, very beneficial quarterstaff for a monk. Description: this light, flexible staff is of ornate marked with mythical sigils that charm magic in the blink of an eye. That channel magic in the blink of an eye. Yeah, I'm not going to get it. By the time I add Sinizith to the party, I'll have better weapons for her. So we will basically leave it at that for now. I stole some gold off of Arron. Pretty good there. Okay on camp supplies and whatnot, so yeah, we'll just continue forth.
Take care now, sweetie.
You! Saw you fighting those slimy bastards. Fancy a bowl? Best to fill your belly now, while we still can.
I'll take them all.
Look, it ain't much, but it might make all the difference. The only way we'll make it to Baldur's Gate is to run, and run hard. If a gnoll catches your scent, you'll need every bit of strength. Trust me.
You're an idiot.
She's got a point.
No helping it. We're exposed now. We should have left by now. Damnation! Instead, we're just sitting here, practically begging to be attacked. Staying is a mistake.
Why the rush to leave?
You don't understand. My apprenticeship with Lae'zel begins shortly. I cannot be late. Yes, that Lae'zel. The greatest wizard in Baldur's Gate.
I've heard that name before. A young man, yes? Lives in Ramaz's tower in the upper city.
The very same.
Word in Waterdeep has it he's a bit of a cad. But you say he's an accomplished wizard.
Of course he is. The greatest spellcaster along the Sword Coast. As if I'd settle for a lesser mentor.
In that case, I'd very much appreciate it if you could arrange an introduction, should we reach the city.
Good idea. Powerful acquaintances never hurt.
If it's powerful acquaintances you're after, you have to look no further than yours truly. Few can match me, in either magic or talent. In years to come, you will boast of this meeting, I can assure you. May we meet again in Baldur's Gate, my friend.
Yeah, cool dude.
How long until
Those goblins will rue the day they chose to tangle with this grove. You and I will do some good here. I can feel it.
My thunder wave will make quick work of any goblin. Just you wait.
we're exposed?
Lee and Roland would never admit it, but they take an arrow for the other. Also stab each other. Not sure what will come first. Thanks for cutting in. There might have been more than words if you hadn't.
Yeah, they get quite adamant with each other. Now we'll check out Dammon.
Thanks for fighting off those goblins. If you need to replace any gear, just ask. My selection's pretty slim. I had to leave most of my equipment in Elturel.
That forge is holding on by a thread. Are you a smith?
Of sorts. Used to be a bread and butter tinsmith before Elturel fell into Avernus. These days my talents are more eclectic. Learned a lot in my time in the Hells. Hope to forget most of it. But between you and me, there's nothing in all the realms like the utter power of infernal machinery. Alas, my offerings are far more humble these days.
Let's see your wares. So he has some generic items, but one item that is of particular interest is the Hunting Shortbow. It deals 5 to 10 piercing damage. Comes with Feller of Monsters. Gives the advantage against monstrosity type enemies, weapon enchantment +1. Also comes with Hunter's Mark. Marks a creature as your cleric to deal an additional 1 to 6 slashing damage whenever you hit it with a weapon attack. The target dies before the spell ends. You can mark a new creature without expending a spell slot. It is good for once per long rest, so we will be getting that. And we'll be getting some generic stuff too, some more padded armor, safeguard shield, saving throw +1, that'll be nice. Metallic boots, athletics +1, yeah, so there are a few items here that we're going to get, and then we will pick it up after we do some willing and dealing.
I have a lot on my mind, and, well, eat it.
So now we'll just continue making our rounds.
Never wanted the easy path.
Talking to everybody, we'll pick up some extra quests as well, and just get a little familiar with them old Grove. Nelly he's an interesting type.
I'm waiting on someone and you aren't him. Do you mind?
No, not at all.
Boring in here.
If it ain't the fearless Goblin Slayer, you sure you want to be seen with me? I ain't exactly popular with this lot.
For good reason. You could try to be a little familiar.
Thanks, Mum. Now please do feck off.
Feck off yourself. I saved your skin back at the gates.
Yeah, you really saved the day, swooping in and playing the hero. Now I'm gonna take the blame for leading the goblins here, and losing track of the bloody druid.
Well, you did both of those things. Who's this druid you lost track of?
Alcin. He's a leader around these parts. Or was. We've got a contract to track down some relic, and he wanted in on the job. Eyes lit up when he heard about it.
Didn't work out, though. Goblins got him when we were turning tail. He's either digging latrines or boiling in a cook pot by now.
Can I have a look at this contract?
Job's all yours, if you got a death wish. There's a wizard in Baldur's Gate that'll pay gobloads for a relic supposedly buried round these parts. But gold ain't any use if you're too cold to spend it.
Any idea what the relic actually is?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be back here with half my crew gone. But look, if you're itching to meet Kellenvor, I won't stop you. It's called the Night Song. Supposed to be hidden under the temple where the goblins jumped us. I'd give you the map and wish you a happy funeral, but my mate Brian kept hold of it like his own Todger. Goblins made sure to the fat old chunk. All I've got's the contract. It'll show you where we turn back, if you feel like dying.
Sure, I'll take it.
Don't thank me. I'll be well on my way to Baldur's Gate when you die.
Stamped handbill. Adventurers wanted for perilous and profitable quests. Master Lorelican, the Arcanist of Athkatla, the recluse of Eramas Tower, seeks brave and enterprising individuals to delve treacherous temple and recover storied artifact, the Night Song, for preservation in Baldur's Gate. Only stout of heart and keen of mind need apply. Fame, glory, and incredible fortune assured. Uh-oh. Something's going on over there.
Blood excites me.
Right.
Come up here first and talk to this couple here, Dennis and Bex. They're lovely. Just, yeah, there's no other word for them except lovely. They're really endearing.
And we'll have a dog, right?
They don't allow them in Baldur's Gate. Cats, though?
A little orange cat. And a house with a little door so that it can come and go as it pleases.
And a high fence to keep eavesdroppers out.
Don't mind me. I was just passing through.
No bother. We're just daydreaming anyhow.
What about you? Big plans for when you get to the city?
Big plans. Yeah, I think I'll be seeking the warmth of the Elsom Tavern, actually.
I think I've heard of that place. Something about a stuffed dragon's head in one of the dining rooms. It's settled, Dennis. You, me, and the Elf Song Tavern first thing when we arrive. If we see you there, we'll get you a pint. For your finder's fee.
I really adore these two. They're really cool. They love each other so much.
I suppose we'll start in the outer city. Get a little business going.
Your spiced tea is life-changing. And I can bake up almond cakes 20 at a time.
Now we'll go over here and see what's up with Barth and Melly. While you're visiting Emerald Grove, it's pretty much the calm before the storm, with a little bit of storm inside of it.
Get back, kid.
I already told you I don't have it! How stupid are you?
Only gonna ask you one more time, boy. Hand over my locket.
I don't have your ugly locket. I've never seen it before.
Hand it over or I'll slap the teeth out of your head.
Don't you dare lay a finger on him.
You threatening me?
You're the one making threats to a child. Pull yourself together, man.
You don't understand. The kid stole my locket. He... Oh, the hell's with this? These little devils get away with everything because of coddling bastards like you!
You'll get yours someday. I hope I get to see it.
Maybe you will, but personally, I doubt it. See you around.
That kid's incorrigible, as most of them are. I love them. Okay, here we have a tome. 1 foot 2 feet. Well met, will meet. And it's another poem. Pretty cool. Yeah, we'll go ahead and read them. 1 foot 2 feet. Well met, will meet. 2 drakes, 1 meat, 1 draught, 2 drinks, 1 beer, 3 beers. Come join, drink here. 1 foot 2 feet, well met, will meet. Yandella and Garl shared a twixt and fall, all covered in butter, and they liked each other. Along came a fly, who flew in with a cry, to the buttery farl of Yandella and Garl. When Garl took a bite, Yandella shrieked with fright. Don't eat that! Oh my, that's a butterfly.
No helping it. We're exposed now.
There was an old man named Omun, who made the best buns in Faerun. The elders did scold him whenever he sold them, saying, bring those buns to our room. Yeah, the reading in this game should not be overlooked. Recruitment poster. A man and woman stand side by side in armor emblazoned with a red fist surrounded by flames. Find pride and purpose in the flaming fist. Join today and protect Baldur's Gate. Led by Grand Duke Older Ravengard himself, will be tasked with guarding the city streets, protecting its people, and upholding the laws that govern us. Speak to any of our friendly fish throughout the city, or visit our headquarters at the Sea Tower of Baldur'S to find out how you can blaze a new career path today. Sounds like a recruitment for the U.S. Army. Pick up these so I can sell them. Ikaron.
We've known enough grief this 10-day traveler. Don't be the cause of more.
Well, I'll try not
We're
to be.
exposed now.
And again. No questions? All right. I saw you at the gates. You fight well. A few words for the kids? Spare a story or two.
Number 4 is really bad. Be strong and watch over your kin. In trust, there is victory.
Thanks. I prefer when they smile.
As do I.
Any questions, children?
Step, Harry, strike, damn it! It's just not landing.
Interesting technique. Are you having some trouble?
Nothing but. Goblins in the wild, out for blood, and the druids in here looking to kick us out. Or worse. We need to be ready for a fight. But I'm useless with a sword.
I think we'll try and detect his thoughts.
He was only a boy. And I just froze while the wall Tore his head clean off. Never again.
Clear your mind. Past mistakes don't matter. Focus on the present and the target.
You're right. I need to clear my head. And step, parry, step, step, swing. Yes! You really know what you're doing. Found this by the road. Bet you'll put it to good use.
One last thing. Don't shout out your moves like that. Spoils a surprise for your foe.
Oh, yes. I'll bite my tongue when the time comes.
Keep training. In time, you'll make short work of any goblins.
Hopefully, it's just the goblins we have to worry about. The druids are treating us like vermin. But I'll keep at it. Thank you.
You're welcome. You got something there. Ooh. Inspiration, that's a plus. Needed some of that. Now we got a battle axe out of it. So it pays to just wander around and talk to people.
Any questions, children?
This place is a bloody death trap, not a sanctuary. You should clear off while you can.
One more time.
Next time the goblins come, I'll be ready.
Don't push it, kid. If you see trouble, then run. Only fight if you have to.
Oh, poor Umi. He's not doing very well.
Oh, right. Go for the heart.
This is boring. We should train against real goblins.
Swing and swivel and wait.
Oh, there's Zuru. We need to talk to him.
One more time.
By Mordai's eyes, another one. My friend's blood not enough. Come to rip me open too.
In Kresh Kalir, a formal greeting begins with a bow.
Is this monster with you?
You heard the woman. Bow. Calling her a monster.
Lower.
She's serious. You better get on your knees. Fast.
You saw another Gith. Where?
On the road to Baldur's Gate, near the mountain pass. Saw us for we saw it. Jammed its blade through Yul's belly. Straight to the other side.
No twisting. Kin must have been in a hurry. The map. Show me. Up. You can keep your innards.
By the dead gods, are all Giths so brutal?
Brutal? Blood still flows through his own veins. I was positively gentle.
The locals prove compliant. A useful trait.
I warned you, didn't I? You ought to reconsider keeping her around before she causes real trouble.
You're a dab hand at interrogations. We might need that skill again.
A shell so thin requires little to crack it. The Tiefling was clear. If there are Githyanki west of here, that must be our objective. Purification cannot wait.
Did you just say Tiefling?
I am unfamiliar with the, well, I shall not say culture. Custom, perhaps. You will educate me on matters of this Fey run.
No, it's Faerun. What did you mean, purification?
The creche holds the Zephisk. It will cleanse us of the parasite. By covenant, I can say no more.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. And with that, we will venture back up this little path here. After we reach some miscellaneous stuff. The Annals of Baldur's Gate. Preface. Centuries ago, a young man sailed from the village of Grey Harbor. Where he went, what he saw, and the deeds he accomplished are simple legends today, but the wealth he returned with years later is a hard fact. Baldur'S made Grey Harbor rich. His gold built docks, funded businesses, and raised strong walls to protect it all. One of the gates into this flourishing city was named in his honor, but so great was the wealth that flowed through it that the name of the gate became more famous than the village that started it all. The name Grey Harbor has been relegated to dusty history books and ancient maps, but Baldur's Gate, that name is on the lips of every traveler in Faerun. Really enjoy the books that are in this game. They are so well written, and they provide a lot of color for the books. A is for Azuk and Other Gods, Volume 6. We'll wait and read those when we have all of them. That way we can read them in order. I don't think it really matters, but I'm very anal retentive. and I don't want to read chapter 6 before, chapters 1 through 5. We'll talk to Eramas. She's very cute.
Goblins, druids, this grove is a death trap. Grab what you can and get out. That's my advice.
Alrighty, so let's just venture up. There was a little tiefling kid around here. To the left, we will talk to Doni. That's his name, Doni.
Remember.
Well, let's see what Doni has to say.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
He stares right past you, as if you're invisible. Or boring.
Are you alright?
Mm-hmm.
I see. Anything else on your mind?
He's still staring right past you.
Turn around to see what he's looking at.
You see nothing out of the ordinary. As you turn back, the child slips between the rocks.
We'll investigate those rocks. This is such a lovely game.
You find the edges of a concealed entrance.
So well done. It's not as perfect or ideal as, say, Baldur's Gate 2, but it's way up there. It was done with such love.
Wonder what's past this.
Traveler's chest, 25 gold and a silver ingot. I'll take it. Yeah, before we venture down here to talk to Mattis and Sophie, we will say.
Don't waste a step.
Hold out your hand, mister. Let me show you something. Go on. Take this ring. It's lucky.
Nice sleight of hand. Hammer's flourish, right?
I never learned names or anything. Just the tricks. Anyway, forget that. Take the ring. I want to show you how lucky it is.
I'll banish the ring with the reverse hammer's flourish.
Weeping, bleeding hells! Okay, maybe you don't need extra luck. But since you're already holding the thing, call it heads or tails.
Heads.
Heads it is. See? That's the kind of luck you get from one of my lucky rings. I've got more where that came from. Real cheap too. Interested?
I'm sure you do. You can drop the act.
I don't know what you mean.
Come on. This is a Tinker's trash can. And a clumsy one.
Hey, that hurts. I'm running an honest... okay, what's a tinker's trash?
Each when a scammer offers a target a quote-unquote magic object, then rigs a game to gain the target's trust, and sells them trash.
Huh. Interesting. And I promise this isn't a tinker's trash scam.
Then what kind of con is it?
Look, I swear to you, these rings are the real deal. I promise I'm not running a scam. Last chance. You want to look at my stuff or not?
Here's your ring. Let's trade.
I knew it. Hang on. That's what I got.
He does have the adept sorting type, but we've already picked that up. Some other stuff. Cardinal's Guide to Distractions. I guess I'm too broke for that. Damn, I need some money. I'm gonna have to rest and steal from poor Arron, I think. Could sell some stuff, so I'm gonna pause and do that.
You suddenly feel something moving against your back and turn.
I'll observe her silently. Maybe they're just crocodile tears.
You notice she's trembling. The tears streaming down her cheeks are indeed real.
Relax. I won't get angry. You didn't even manage to get anything from me.
I can't do this anymore, Mattis. I'm sorry.
Hey, you here to trade or?
Your partner's a thief.
Yeah, I know. I was standing right here telling her to rob you.
You can make it right by giving me a percentage of your take.
Fine. I'm not so good at counting, but I think any percentage of 0 is 0. Look, you quarter. Good for you. You aren't a chump like everyone else around here. Now, do me a favor. Make room for the chumps.
Quite a racket they have going on.
Please, let us through.
It is forbidden.
Let my daughter go right now!
She's a thief, hellspawn. And you will wait for Korga's judgment. Now get back!
Oh, let me through, Ragrasham, or I'll rip your damn throat out!
Do all the damn rituals you want!
Damn it! We could have taken those guards.
Try greasing palms. These things over.
Oh, because that went so well last time.
Very well.
We need to get Arabella out. Now!
You heard the guards. They're waiting on Korga to give word.
I'd sooner trek through the 9 hells than trust that snake. Ugh!
So what happened? Why are the druids holding your daughter?
Arabella tried to steal their idol. Druids lost their damn minds about it. They need it for their precious ritual.
Oh, it's all my fault. I told her I wished the wretched thing would just disappear, or better yet, explode.
Now Arabella's being judged by a bunch of druids who hate us. That's not right.
This grove is like a cauldron about to boil over. I say we check in on the child. Make sure she comes to no harm.
I'd say you're right, Gale. She's just a child. The druids, they're overreacting. Let me talk to them.
Thank you. They won't give us the time of day.
Hurry! I'm at the end of my tether as is. Can't take this waiting. She must be terrified.
Lives are at stake. And the cowards only care about their bloody rituals.
Keep this up and we could help each other. Fight the goblins together. Instead, these fools are trying to chase us away.
Those dirt kissers would let us die for the sake of their bloody grove.
Well, let's talk to Gale.
Tiring business, isn't it? All this traveling and adventuring. Why don't we take a little break? Allow ourselves a few moments of rest? Gives me a chance to talk to you about something, well, rather important.
Rather important, no less. Alright. Go ahead.
We've been on the road together for a while now, haven't we? Survived some perils, overcame some obstacles. Ever since you were kind enough to free me from that stone, I've seen you demonstrate remarkable guile and courage. The way you diffuse the tension between Zevlor and Aradin. In short, I've grown to trust you.
That's very gratifying to hear.
The reason I make a point of saying this is that I've grown confident enough to tell you something I've yet to tell another living soul.
Oh no.
Except for my cat.
Already?
You see, I have this condition. Very different from the parasite we share, but just as deadly.
What kind of condition?
The specifics are rather personal, but suffice it to say that it is a malady I've learned to live with, though not without some effort. What it comes down to is this. Every so often, I need to get my hands on a powerful magical item and absorb the weave inside.
Your illness causes you to consume raw magic. I think I'm going to need some details.
I can say no more on the matter. Not now, anyway. Just trust me when I say it's all of vital importance. It's been days since I last consumed an artifact, since before we were abducted. It's only a matter of time before my craving returns. That is why I turn to you. I need you to help me find magic items to consume. It is vital. Dare I say it? Critical.
Where do you suggest we find the artifacts you need?
We've already done the finding. In fact, you have one in your possession. You know for yourself how hard won such an item was, and it will be no easier when even more are required to assuage my hunger. There'll be danger involved, or great cost.
Tell me, why exactly would I risk either of those things for a wizard I barely know?
Valid question. If not out of the simple goodness of your heart, then perhaps your own self-interest might be sufficient motivation. Having a wizard like me around is quite the boon when facing the perils that stalk these lands. It'd be far harder for me to assist you if I could barely stand upright. Please, trust me. Your help could be the difference between life and death.
I'm going to use our tadpole, seek the danger at the heart of Gale's request. Ooh, that was fun.
You become one with Gale's mind, and you can feel something sinister oppressing you. It's inside of you, a mighty darkness radiating from your chest. You could try to push further, but your hold over Gale feels brittle. It won't be easy delving deeper without him noticing.
I won't risk it.
So, do you agree?
Very well. I'll help you manage this condition of yours.
Thank you. I see my trust in you was not misplaced. I'm sure we won't have to look very far to find what I need. Faerun overflows with magic-infused treasure. As do our packs, as a matter of fact. We've such an item already in our possession. Primed for the moment the need arises. I hope I can count on you.
He sounds very much like an addict. Okay, we will continue into the Druid Grove and check that out. Did I say Druid Grove? I meant Emerald Grove.
I smell drama amongst these adventurers. What have you heard?
Keep their confidence if you insist.
Calm, Magrin. Give him a chance. You, get back!
I'm not looking for trouble. Can't you just let me by?
No, and you'll find trouble all the same unless you get out of my sight.
A moment, Giona.
What? Oh, I understand. You. Apparently Korga wants to see you. Go ahead.
We'll visit Korga in a little bit.
Would that we could speak freely, my Ursine friend. Alas, I've never learned to converse with your kind.
We're just going to make our way around Emerald Grove right now, talk to who we can, take what we can.
Yes, I'm quite aware.
Keep away from Tuffet. She's lazy enough as is. Yeah, we might as well bring one now. We'll be talking to some animals. Where the hell is it?
Ah, my good friend. You were at the gates just now, no? When the goblins came? You saw them up close? A few questions, if you please. There's no overstating my interest.
Fine. Go ahead and ask.
Glory. Now then, how would you describe that particular batch of goblins? Size, nature, distinguishing qualities?
You search your mind, successfully recalling various details of goblin behavior.
Common variety goblins, led by a lasher, flanked by booyahs.
My, a scholar after my own heart. Spent much time among goblins?
I'm not unfamiliar with their kind, certainly.
Shocking little creatures, aren't they? Still, there's quite a bit more to them than most accounts allow. I myself plan to record the world's most extensive catalogue of their means and habits. A blue ocean of information, I dare say. Now, I've a few more questions, if you don't mind. And the dragon they had marching in the rear, was it of the brass or silver variety?
Dragon? There wasn't any dragon.
Witnesses failed to notice the obvious dragon. Last question, then you'll be quite free. Did the attackers rally to the absolute when they fell upon the gates?
Yeah, actually. They called out the name like a war cry.
They did, didn't they? Oh, curious. Oh, curious indeed. I've interrogated one, a captive in this very camp. She reports they've abandoned their god Maglabiet in favor of someone called the Absolute. The scandal. Never you mind. I'm on my way to their camp as we speak. I always knew my studies in Gukliak would come to some use.
Wait. About earlier? Why the dragon?
My friend, every story benefits from a dragon. Until we meet again.
Oh my.
Just a moment. This man is recording my story. I am far from home.
As the colourful man starts scribbling, the bear sneaks a quick look at the page. His brow furrows. Incomprehensible squiggles surround a crude sketch. A bear disemboweling a clutch of tieflings.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
By Sylvanus, the Tree Father, our turmoil is calmed.
A primer on mythical beasts. Chapter 5. Miniature Giant Space Hamster. Very little is known about this particular cryptid.
Yes, I see.
The stories say they tend to choose well-muscled human males as their steeds when they deign to visit this plane. According to legends, this creature retains a wellspring of indescribable power known only to itself, though it provides its steed with perhaps mystical, perhaps mundane courage. Unsubstantiated rumors claim the creature has a taste for human eyes. That is in reference to Boo and Mint. We will meet them in Act 3. Very amusing for someone who knows who they are. From Baldur's Gate 1 and 2.
I smell drama amongst these
If you haven't played those games, you really should. Baldur's Gate 1 is especially dated graphically, but they're just so worth the play. And they really add a lot of depth to Baldur's Gate 3. Which is sometimes too tied into Baldur's Gate 1 and 2.
He didn't come back, did he? His smell is gone. He's gone.
Who are you looking for?
Master, he left with the weaponed two legs. He said he'd be back. But I can smell them, the weaponed ones, and I cannot smell him. He's not coming back.
You look strong. Why not go after him?
No, the woods have gone dark. There's too many predators lately, and I was never the strong one.
Poor guy. Sort of looks like you can venture back here. Let's see if that's true. Oh, there's a wooden chest back there. Ooh, nice wooden chest. 123 gold, silver chalice, arrow of darkness, and arrow of solving. Arrow of solving, those, so yeah, those help with paralysis, blindness, you name it, man. They're really, really beneficial to have. Can't get up there. We'll pick up the ladle. The other stuff isn't really worth its price, its weight.
Find our master. Return to me then. Tell me what you find. Tell only me. Understand?
I thought you were housing.
The boar prances around, haunches clenching and unclenching impatiently.
Where's Halsin? Promise me a mate.
Somebody's horny.
Speak.
What were you saying to that bird?
The bird knows. She needs to know. You do not.
I help defend this grove. I'm not your enemy.
Forgive me. It is not you I fear. It is my brethren. More follow Korga every day. They are afraid, and she offers a simple solution. Eject the refugees, and we will be safe.
You still haven't told me what you were doing with that bird.
It searches for news of Master Halsin. Only he can set this right. If he is gone, well, pray that he is not.
I hear a ritual can protect the grove. Are you helping prepare it?
I would prefer not to. But if Master Halsin does not return, Korga will give the order, and my voice will not matter.
It's an unfortunate position she's in.
By Sylvanus, the Forest Father, we are granted balance.
Concentrating. Does this look good? Is the coin in the middle?
It's slightly off. You should have been to the right.
Yes. Yes, you're right. That's it.
Tad bit OCD, he is.
Yes. Yes. This is perfect.
We'll leave him in peace. Don't want to kick him away. It's too amusing. Okay, so in and around Emerald Grove, we're going to go up. In order to do that, though, we're going to have to move the bear.
Won't budge.
I'm sleeping.
Could you move? Just a little bit. I need to use the elevator.
Okay.
Thank you.
Like its will be done.
Let's move.
One day I'll catch a break.
Here, you can either go to the left or the right. If you go to the left, Tiefling might die. Because you'll be too far away from the battle. We were going to go to the right. Check the timber first.
Get out!
The squirrel lunges at your foot and bites it.
What was that for?
You're trespassing. This is my territory.
There's plenty of room for both of us.
How about this? You can stay if you keep those ugly feet on the ground. I'll even sweeten the pot. Found some weird smelling stuff on the ground. You can keep it, but these trees are mine. Follow the rules and I won't have to intervene. Got it?
Hyena here, which is good for making potions of speed. Thank you, Timber.
Something's on my mind.
Talk to Rika.
Glad you were here for those goblins. Picked one off yesterday myself. Shot her through the throat. Well, that should have killed her, but she kept gasping. Clawing at the arrow.
Taking a life, it always has a cost. You have to feel it, or you'll lose who you are.
I had the same thought. And it's just going to keep happening.
What's next?
Oi!
Think you can take me?
Ambush. He was going to kill her. He's going to kill this tiefling.
Be quick.
There we go. Yeah, the extra difficulty wasn't quite kicking in yet. I made a modification, and now it is. He went from 40 to 80, and he has gained absolute passive. So that should make him a bit harder to kill. Silly bugbear.
I won't give in.
My faith will protect me.
Battle favors the fearless. I know just what to do.
Let's see if that's true. Oh, you know how to miss. Apparently so does Gale. Run. Run, run, run. Somebody hit this dude, please.
Got to focus. Fall, damn you.
Damn, Shadow Heart. I hit my own person. Son of a witch. Thank you for making him miss, but now you're off the edge because I put you too close to it. Oh my god.
They won't expect this.
No choice but to keep going.
Got it written down.
What should I do?
No holding back.
Okay, make sure we got the right one selected. Oh, almost got him off the throne. Damn it.
Something different.
Well, so much for peace.
At the ready.
Can't give up.
Oh.
Hurry. What now? Try me.
Get him away from the edge.
Ready.
This is my time.
Uh-huh. Shit, dude, he was laying down, man. And you missed him. Good job, Lae'zel. Take him out, bud. That is not taking him out.
Will stand in my way.
Yeah, let's see what he had on him. Basic poison, bone, 2 gold, and a morning star. Well, these mods have definitely made the game harder.
I should speak up.
You have good timing. Never been much of a fighter, so wrestling a bugbear would have gone poorly. But you're not here for heroics, are you? Avernus's stench is all over your skin. Let me guess. Your devil mistress sent you to get her soul coin back. Too bad. I earned it, fair and square.
Coin? Mistress? You lost me.
You almost seem honest. Care to explain why you reek of the hells?
Yeah, a mind flayer abducted me, and its ship went straight to Avernus.
Well, that's quite the story. And I thought I was doomed. Now I feel sorry for you. Here. Take this. It's worth a fortune. But a fortune's not worth much if you're dead. Consider it payment for saving my life.
A soul coin, true to its name, holds a mortal soul inside. It serves in the Nine Hells as very valuable currency.
Yeah, that was a cool payment. And we've leveled up.
You peer through the telescope.
Huh. Okay, that was a red dragon. The fuck is the telescope?
You see a dragon circling like a bird of prey, hunting.
Move to the left.
The telescope points to the left.
Oh, move to the right.
The telescope points straight ahead.
Move to the right.
The telescope points to the right.
That's Joaquin's Rest. Alrighty, so we can level up, which we will do now. We're at level 3. Okay, we can choose our subclass. Him, we're going with Assassin. Makes him a little better in melee combat. We give him Assassinate Initiative, deadliest against unprepared enemies. In combat, he has advantage on attack rolls against creatures that haven't taken a turn yet. All about the initial attack. Assassinate Ambush. Any successful attack roll against a surprise creature is a critical hit, which really plays well into how I play. I'd like to get the upper hand on enemies, like to surprise them. Also comes with Assassin's Alacrity. Quick as an alley cat in a rain dark city. You immediately restore your action and bonus action at the start of combat. Very nice feature to have. Sorry if I stumbled over my words, I got a bit excited. Okay, her benefit as for her race, she obtains Githyanki's Silence Jump. She can triple her jumping distance for 10 turns. That comes in really useful on occasion. As far as the fighter subclasses go, Battlemaster is the purest fighter subclass. It is also the most powerful. You have Eldritch Knight, which allows you to cast spells, but it will weaken you in melee combat. Champion is kind of like, it's a bit between Eldritch Knight and Battlemaster. I really like Battlemaster. You get maneuvers, and you get a subclass superiority dice of 4. And for her maneuvers, you will take Disarming. Disarming can be, you can decimate an enemy and you can disarm them. Grab their weapon and they can't pick it up. Menacing attack means you can frighten an opponent. Precision attack. Go with trick attack. That way we can put the opponent on the ground, and that will make hitting them a lot easier. Really cannot wait to get to Wither so we can basically retcon Shadowheart and give her Tempest domain. This for the earlier battles, earlier levels, spiritual weapon. It's a nice thing. It will give you an additional party member to attack with. And you can choose between a few different types of weapons, depending on the opponent. You can go slashing, piercing, bludgeoning. As Wyll, we get improved warlock spells. Most of his warlock spells will become stronger. We get attack boon, gain dispel, and we can replace the spell. Go with Misty Step. Now, the packs are interesting. Pact of the Chain, you gain the service of a familiar, a base spirit that takes the form of Wyll's choosing. This can be an animal, imp, or closet. Pretty helpful. Pact of the Blade, you can summon a pact weapon or bind the one you are wielding, making it magical. Pact weapons are the wielder's spellcasting. Use the wielder's spellcasting ability modifier instead of strength or dexterity. That can make him very effective in combat, melee combat. Pact of the Tomb. Patron grants you a grimoire called the Book of Shadows, which allows you to cast Guidance, Vicious Mockery, and Thorn Whip. We're going to go with Pact of the Blade. Wyll struggles in melee combat, especially with Tactician Plus. Yeah. So Pact of the Blade, we will go with that. Oh, some interesting choices. I lighten some cloud of daggers. Now with Astarion, could make him a straight up thief, but I'm going to give him some spellcasting abilities. He'll never be all that effective in melee combat anyway. Give him some little more magical abilities. We'll go with Ray of Frost and Shocking Grass. That's his cantrips. Cautious, Hideous Laughter, and Charm Person. Color Spray and Sleep are only useful if your opponent has really low hit points. Actually, we will do Magic Missile that never misses. Gale, we get level 1 spell slot and level 2 spell slots unlocked. 2 level 2, 1 level 1. And he's gained 2 spells. A lot of daggers. And didn't people. We won't worry about him having Misty Step just quite yet. And with that, everyone is leveled up.
Very well.
We'll head back down and check out this dirt man. Hopefully there's some really good stuff in there.
Let's see.
Awesome. 2 potions of healing, elixir of bloodlust, potion of mind reading, and 13 gold. We'll head back up and around and talk to the tieflings who are helping guard the gate. And then we'll continue our little peaceful, semi-peaceful tour of Emerald Grove. And head into some fighting somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. I haven't decided. I like to talk to the NPCs. Larry went to a lot of trouble of giving them lines and actually voicing those lines. So yeah, I really like to do that. I like to talk to them and hear what they had to say.
One crisis after another.
Glad you made it inside. Doubt we'll be safe here for long, though. There'll be more coming. Goblins hunt in packs.
Why not take your chances on the road?
We might have to. But I'd feel better if we at least knew how many are out there. The sooner we leave for Baldur's Gate, the better.
How far are we from the city?
If the road was clear, 10 days walk maybe. But while the goblins are out there, it might as well be the other side of the world. Feel like we're being watched.
Never blew on that before. There's some stuff here that's worthy of stealing, but we will do that later. At a more advantageous time. Where are you going?
Aradin's back with his tail between his legs. I'm glad for your help, but I'd hoped you were Halsin.
Sounds like you've crossed paths with Aradin before.
Yeah, when he ran off with the druid that saved our hides the first time. Without Halsin, this grove's not so friendly, I'll tell you that.
Alright, so we have pretty much gone full circle. We will go back to the lift and wrap up our tour before we go talk to Porter.
Let's get on with it.
Please, make it stop.
Slow down. What's wrong?
Can't you hear it? Her singing. It's awful.
Terrible.
Don't mock her. She's trying her best. I assume.
Oh no. Whatever shall we do?
More witless creatures. More ear bleed. My head is melting. I'm leaving before the damage is permanent.
Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will change. No. Become.
How can I put this? That sounded a little unpolished.
It sounded like a cat being strangled. God damn it!
Are you alright?
No, I'm moments away from a grisly death. At the hands of this bloody song. I can't. Nothing fits, you know?
Why are you songwriting now? Probably the best time.
We lost people on the way here, and the dead deserve to be remembered. That's what my teacher always said.
Can I help you finish?
It can't hurt. I have an extra lute, if you want.
First things first. What is the song about?
My teacher, Lihala. She loved dancing. Had 2 left feet, mind. I remember waking up one night on the road and seeing her dancing beneath the stars. A huge smile on her face. Thinking of it now, my heart hurts. And my words just seem to crumble like ash. Wait. Words of mine will turn to ash. That's perfect.
Keep going. What would you say to your teacher if she were here right now?
That it's okay. That I'll be okay. And thank you for everything.
Alright. That's what your lyrics needed to say.
Moon, moon reminds me of your grace. All the love I can't repay. Wait.
Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will turn to ash when you call the last light down. Moon reminds me of your grace. All the love I can't repay. Rest and know that I will pray. Farewell, my dear old friend. Moon, sun, oh, remind me of your grace. Faith, care, smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will turn to ash when you call the last light down. Moon reminds me of your grace, all the love I can't repay. Rest and note it, I will pray. Farewell, my dear old friend. Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away.
Sorry.
The song was beautiful. More than both of these tears.
Thanks. That's the first time I've played since Lihala died. My teacher. She was playing her lute. We didn't hear the gnolls coming. There was so much blood. I can still smell it.
I'm sure your teacher would be very proud to see you now.
She'd yell at me for that clunky verse. And make me play till my fingers were raw. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Finish the Weeping Dawn. For her. I've a long way to go. But thank you. I needed this.
The silly animals should have stuck around. I think they would have enjoyed that. Folk songs are favorite. This book is a clear work in progress, though already extensive, chronicling various musical styles and notation from across Faerun. Amid the orderly symbols in black and green, one page stands out. It is awash in color and meandering art. The script of O reads, Myconid's song by Ogma. I hear it and I see it and I know it and I feel it, but I can't write it. Or can I? Myconid's song. That's pretty cool foreshadowing of what we will be witnessing later. And we'll pick that up. We have a good chest here. Let's see what's inside of it.
Don't give me trouble now.
We have the Cap of Curing. The Cap of Curing features soothing songs. When you inspire an ally using bardic inspiration, you also gain 1 to 6 hit points. Putting on this hat, you somehow enough to lift your spirits. Gale can absorb this item's magic, which will destroy it. This is something that I would be willing to give him to assuage his addiction, or his malady, anyway. I don't have a bard, so this hat is really not of much use to me. And that's why I'd be willing to give it to him versus Dragon's Grasp or something of that nature. Well, this will conclude. So pretty. This will conclude our little tour of Emerald Grove, talking to various NPCs and getting you a couple of additional side quests. Next we will be talking to Korga, helping out Arabella, and visiting Nettie who may or may not be able to help us out with our tadpole situation. When we were going through the hollow and talking to people, I inadvertently missed my favorite person to talk to, and that's this woman here. Her name is Lae'zel. So we'll jump up here and talk to her. She is. I really wish that she were recruitable, or romanceable. She's really cute and sexy.
Used to think the goblins would kill us the second we set foot outside. But after hearing what you did at the gate, well, I still think they'll kill us. But at least we can put up a fight.
I like her sense of humor. No, come on. Not with that attitude. Fight and win.
There's optimism and then there's stupid, hun. Plenty of us fell to monsters already. I don't see the rest of us lasting long out there. But if you're so sure we will, why not put a little gold on the line?
Now, how are you going to take my gold if you're dead?
I'm sure you're good for it. Just leave the gold on my corpse. After seeing you at the gate, I'm sure you'll last longer than us.
Alright, you're on.
Excellent. And since I ain't one to leave a debt unpaid, that means we're destined to meet in Baldur's Gate. Looking forward to it.
As am I.
I best see you in Baldur's Gate.
Cool character. Okay, and in addition to that, that wooden hatch will lead to Zevlor, but that's not why I came up here. We want to pop up this cragged rock and go along the cliffside here and check out what's in this heavy chest. 25 gold and a grease bottle. We'll pick that up. I'm going to send that to camp for additional storage. And with that, we will officially call it a wrap on NPCs in Emerald Grove. And we will now get back to questing as I originally intended. We'll be headed to some ruins and finding withers.
Like its will be done.
Yeah, I thought that might save her a hit point, but I guess not.
Let's get going.
Okay, we are off to rest. Steal some things from Arron. Buy some health potions from Auntie Ethel. And then on to Withers.